Hello and welcome to the Nano2All webinar. This webinar was developed as part of the Nano2All project's training materials. In this session, we will address the case study on risk governance of nanotechnology. What is this case study about? This module introduces risk governance of nanotechnologies. We analyze the controversy over the Dupont-Environmental Defense Nano Risk Framework. We discuss the roles of the different stakeholders in this controversy. What is the Dupont-Environmental Defense Nano Risk Framework? In 2006 to 2009, the chemicals company Dupont and the CSO Environmental Defense Fund engaged in confidential discussions about the risk governance of nanomaterials. They agreed on a common nano risk framework with these goals: to establish a process to ensure the responsible development of nanoscale materials, to develop a tool to organize and share information with stakeholders, to facilitate public understanding of nanotechnology, to provide input for government policy on nanotechnology safety. At the end of the project, both parties considered it a success. However, others were not so enthusiastic. A group of over 20 other CSOs criticized this industry CSO cooperation and the resulting framework as being fundamentally flawed in 2007. Their main objectives were two. First, CSO participation in confidential discussions with industry legitimizes the corporate activities, and second, voluntary measures delay or weaken compulsory formal legislation. Analyst Lotte Krabenborg considers the collaboration of DuPont and environmental defense a good example where a company and a CSO engage in mutual learning rather than contributing their prior expertise in a discussion. She highlights how new publics are forming in response to the emergence of nanotechnology by applying a theory proposed by Dewey. How can we interpret what happened in this case? The uncertain risks of nanomaterials challenge the existing regulatory framework for chemicals. This framework is scientific evidence-based and political. The company and civil society organization co-designed an intermediary step aiming for responsible governance of nanomaterials in the absence of sufficient data required by regulators. In their protected space, neither policymakers nor academics participated. It was neither political nor scientific. Such an innovative attempt at risk governance was welcomed by other companies, but criticized by other CSO. Does it favor industry at the expense of society? What questions should we ask ourselves? For the industry, how would your company balance the need for confidentiality and novel opportunities for responsible co-creation? For CSOs, what would be your organization's solution to the dilemma of fostering responsible innovation while avoiding legitimizing irresponsible activities? And for others, could you imagine a role for government, academia, media, and citizens in developing risk governance for nanotechnology? To conclude, risk governance has been discussed and experimented with for over 10 years. The optimal solution has not yet been found. Constructive cooperation of different stakeholders is required. Trust and trustworthiness are essential preconditions in this process. In the listed sources, you can find further useful information. Thank you very much for your attention, and we hope this webinar has been useful to you.